What is the future of cybersecurity in transforming businesses? That's the question put to our panel by our facilitator, Frank Kovacs. He is a global digital business executive, accomplished in strategy, services, and transformations. Welcome, Frank.
Thank you, Gene.
So we're not hearing a lot about ransomware anymore, but it hasn't gone away.
Yeah, what's happened, Gene, is the whole landscape of how the hackers are using ransomware has taken a change, where we've seen the high numbers of individuals being impacted declining. And the reason for that is that the hackers have become much more sophisticated in their ransomware attacks, where they're looking at more high-value targets and really targeting their efforts with much larger paydays.
Wow. Sounds like a great topic for the panel. Tell us about your panel.
Our panel, who's been around now for 23 themes, has done an outstanding job. They're very well versed in cybersecurity issues. And what's been nice is throughout this, they have been able to, theme by theme, really weigh in and give us a lot of great perspective as to the different topics that we support.
Now, Frank, in your executive summary, you cover some important updates on ransomware.
Yes, what we're focusing on is just how those instances of ransomware, even though they've declined in numbers, have really gotten a more solidified focus and really a greater level of sophistication. And one of the areas of which is being focused on by them is cybercurrency. And in addition to that, we've observed that the ransomware attacks on the individuals have significantly scaled back because for the hackers, they didn't have as big a payday, but they had a tremendous amount of risk in each of the ransomware attacks that they put forth.
So tell us about the changes you're seeing from hackers. Patrick had a lot of great input here.
Yeah, this was an area which was Patrick's forte. What he came up with was the attacks were getting more sophisticated. And as an example, he was sharing how phishing emails not only get more personalized, but the attackers use more time on the details. And really, when these phishing emails come through, it's very hard for even experts in the cybersecurity field sometimes, just by looking at the email itself, even distinguish it from what the normal sender would be.
Wow.
He also had went on to talk about how hackers are using intelligent algorithms and using big data like crawlers to systematically analyze user profiles.
Wow.
Yeah. And then finally, what Patrick talks about was successful attack requires preparation. And we see that these hackers that are doing the ransomware now aren't the casual people that are looking for a small reward across many people, but they're looking to really gain access, get identity theft, to really get into an individual and fully understand them, not just get a token payment for encrypting some data as they historically did.
Wow. So in key point number 2, you kind of point out how we can better prepare as this ransomware has become so much more sophisticated, as you've just pointed out. So what can we do?
So Andre gave us a great example that in hospitals, it's very critical that all the key HIPAA data and patient data be protected and encrypted. A great example is they have a Mobius Award every year for mobility applications, and one of them was geared at a children's hospital. So
Wow.
When we talk about blockchain, we want to make sure that this data is encrypted so that somebody can't go through the network and be getting that person's personal data or HIPAA data. The next one was also from Patrick. And what he had spoken about was in blockchain, that the information be encrypted, but also dispersed across various servers. And by doing that, it's much harder for the hackers. And then finally, Paulo has come up with taking AI and using it to tackle vulnerabilities. And artificial intelligence is becoming a great weapon in the fight against ransomware and other malware, because what it can do is learn from each interaction, and it becomes that much stronger for each instance of threat or vulnerability that it goes after.
So tell us about the top 3 panelists that you had this time around, Frank.
Again, these individuals have been involved in the panel since the beginning. They are really dedicated. These are their professions, so they really eat, sleep, and drink this on a regular basis, and they've been able to give us wonderful insight and visions in the field of where things are evolving to.
Well, really, what a fascinating discussion today, Frank. You did a great job of sharing the views of the panel, and I know keeping them focused and keeping it moving along is the sign of a real pro, and we appreciate everything you've done to bring us this information. It's Frank Kovacs. He is a global digital business executive, accomplished in strategy, services, and transformations. And Frank, we will talk again.
Thank you, Keith.